So I have not used Ubuntu proper for quite a while. I've used, derivatives like Mint and Zorin and that kind of thing. But Ubuntu itself, I haven't used for a bit. And some recent things have got me kind of wondering, is the interim release of Ubuntu, the interim releases, are they starting to become almost like betas? I bring that up because of a couple of things that happened recently. Now, it was reported earlier in the year that Ubuntu 25.10 plans to swap GNU core utils for Rust, and they have since done that. So this would be utils, which is the replacement, aims to be a drop-in replacement for the GNU utils. Differences with GNU are treated as bugs, and it attempts to replace as many of the core utilities like ls, cp, dd, echo, sudo, date, that kind of thing. That's already been done in Questing Quokka, which is 25.10, which is an interim release. As you may know, Ubuntu has long-term support releases, LTSs, and interim releases. And every 6 months between LTS versions, Canonical publishes an interim release of Ubuntu, with 25.10 being the latest example. These are production quality releases and are supported for 9 months, with sufficient time provided for users to update, but these releases do not receive the long-term commitment of LTS releases. So this particular release, 25.10, drew the ire of Brian Lunduk, to mention one of many. Now, he's a bit of a pot stirrer, I think. He'll jump on anything and just make it into a big deal, but this was kind of a big deal. He says, Ubuntu 25.10 dropped the battle-tested GNU core utils in favor of the untested, incomplete utils. It wasn't untested, but a lot of the tests didn't pass. So they basically released a set of replacement core utilities that had different licensing and did not pass all the tests for compatibility that you would think they would want them to pass, which seems odd to me. Also, in this one, Brodie Robertson reported that there were some issues with the core utilities. One being an issue with the date command, where unattended backups would fail because of the way the dates were being parsed out. That was fixed pretty quickly, but he's also mentioning that Flatpak got broken in this version of 25.10 Ubuntu. Now, Ubuntu prefers us to use Snap instead, which is sort of like their curated version of Flatpak. So I'm not saying they did it on purpose, but I'm just saying they didn't maybe didn't pay that much attention, as much attention as they should have, to potentially breaking Flatpak. So there's just two fairly big things in this latest release. And I'm just wondering, is this a trend? I haven't used Ubuntu proper for a while. Is anybody else seeing this or feeling this or getting the sense that the interim release has become a kind of a test bed and almost like a beta? Let me know. Am I just imagining things, or am I just taking a couple of isolated incidents out of proportion and extrapolating and going crazy? I'd be really interested to hear what your thoughts are. Any Ubuntu users out there, let me know. All right, take it easy. So that's another video in the can. If you found this informative or interesting, please consider liking and subscribing down below. And remember, Be excellent to each other.